Hey, so if you're running an e-commerce store, you know the grind. You know how tough it is to keep your storefront looking fresh and exciting. Today, we're going to look at a tool that promises to handle all of that for you, automatically, and even boost your sales while it's at it. So let me ask you something. Does your online store look pretty much the same today as it did last week, or, let's be honest, maybe even last month? Look, if you're like most store owners, you're so busy with the day-to-day that your product images are probably the last thing on your mind.
And here's the thing, that's a bigger problem than you might think. Because when your loyal customers come back and see the exact same photos every single time, it can make your whole brand feel a little, well, stale. You're missing this huge opportunity to grab their attention with something new.
But it gets worse because it hits you right where it hurts, your bottom line. Just think about it for a second. Somewhere in your product gallery, you have a photo that converts like crazy. It's like this hidden salesperson. But if it's buried 3 or 4 images deep, nobody ever sees it. You are literally leaving money on the table.
Okay, so what do you do about it? Well, that's where this app, ImageLoop, comes in. The simplest way to think about it is like this. It's your own personal visual merchandiser working for you 24/7, automatically rotating your product cover images. It keeps your store looking dynamic and fresh, all on autopilot.
Now, before your mind goes to complicated setups and hiring developers, just stop. That's the best part. There is absolutely zero coding needed. You can seriously get this thing set up and have your first image rotation live in about 5 minutes. For real. And the process itself is just ridiculously easy. You just browse your store, pick a product, choose the images you want to rotate, drag and drop them in the order you want, set a schedule, and that's it. You're done. The app takes care of the rest. And when they say set it and forget it, they really, really mean it. You can have your images rotate every 30 minutes if you want, or just once a year. The system's also pretty smart. It'll ping you when you add new images to a product, and it'll even pause the rotation automatically if an item sells out, then start it right back up when it's restocked. It's all about saving you time and headaches. So all this automation, all this time saved, what's the actual result? What does it do for your business? Well, it pretty much boils down to this one single number, 18%. So what is that number? That's an 18% average improvement in conversions. Let that sink in. Just by making your storefront more dynamic, by automatically showing off your best pictures, merchants using this app are seeing a major lift in sales. That is a massive impact for something that took you 5 minutes to set up. Okay, but how do you prove it's working? And maybe even more important, how do you figure out which of your images are the ones actually making you money? Right, well, that's where the data comes in. And what's so powerful here is how it turns all that data into dollars. The dashboard doesn't just throw confusing charts at you. It shows you the actual financial value of the time you're saving. And my favorite part, it gives you a podium of your top performing images, showing you the exact revenue each one brought in. You will know without a doubt which visuals are your real moneymakers. All right, so a tool this powerful, it's got to be expensive or have complicated pricing tiers, right? Nope. Let's look at the pricing because this part is super simple. The number one thing to know is that every single feature, including all of those awesome analytics we just talked about, is included on every single plan. In fact, you can get started for, well, $0. Seriously. The free plan gives you 3 active rotations and the full analytics suite. Think about that for a sec. You can install it, test it out on your best-selling products, and prove its value to your business without ever pulling out a credit card. The only difference in the plans is how many products you want to automate. And listen, it's not just me saying this. Merchants are absolutely loving it. Check out this review from a user over in France. It basically translates to, super practical app for testing rotations between different product images. I recommend it. Finally, this app exists. And that feeling, right? That finally, I bet a lot of you can relate to that. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to one simple question. Are you ready to stop guessing, stop wasting your time, and finally let your very best images do the selling for you 24/7, completely on autopilot?